Good morning. In this video we're going to be doing things at a slightly slower pace. We're going to be working through some electrics that I'm putting in. And doing it at a slower pace now that I'm on the water and I'm no under such a time constraint, and actually being able to enjoy things a lot more. I mean, that's a few nights now that I've had a really good sleep. And I think, as I said in the last video, there's a lot less stress. But also, I'm sitting on the water, and it moves right. It moves in a way that helps me sleep. So I'm feeling a lot better. The aches and pains are starting to subside a bit. And I'm starting to get to the good part now. As I said, sorry about the ducks. They're quite vocal just now. As I was saying, we're going to do some electrics. I got that kind of into the zone in the last video that I actually put the skimmer, the transducer for the fish finder. I already installed that and run it through the wall and things without filming it, so I'll take you down and we'll have a look at that. And happy to report there's still no leaks. So we're looking quite good. There's a few wee niggly bits and pieces that's still worrying me, but there's always going to be something, I wanted to ask you about the last video. Now, it was nearly an hour long, and when I was editing things, I kept on thinking, well, this is getting long. What should I take out and what should I not? But if I'd have took more out, I took probably 4 or 5 hours worth of footage out. And I think if I took any more out, you wouldn't get a picture of what actually happened, But I've noticed that most videos on YouTube are around about kind of 15-20 minutes. And I can understand that, Most people haven't got an hour just to sit down and watch some idiot playing on their boat. So, would the 20-minute mark be a better length of video for you? I can certainly do that. What do you think? I'm no YouTube expert, not by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just trying to work out what works best for you guys. So let me know, and I'll try and modify things to that. Also, I got a comment on my TikTok. Now, it's no bothered me in the way that you might think it has. I think it's highlighted a lack of understanding of how other people live. I got a comment from a lady who basically said, the boat is a wreck, it's well past its sell-by date, and people like me shouldn't have boats, shouldn't have sailboats, because we can't afford just to get the tradesmen in and get the professionals in to do it. I can understand the merit of getting professionals in to do things, I really can. But I think it would be easy just for me to get offended and have a knee-jerk reaction and dismiss her. But it wouldn't be helpful. I think it shows a lack of understanding of the reality of a lot of people like me. In fact, the vast majority of people don't just have the money to get the tradesmen in, or throw money at something and make a boat magically appear. It comes from years of hard work, And for me, certainly, I don't come from money. Everything I've made, everything this boat is, comes from hard work, sheer will and determination, and just being absolutely relentless and keeping on going until I make things happen. And for the vast majority of us, that's life, In place of the lack of money, we put our time, effort and skills in. Now, I'm not giving her a hard time at all. As I said, I think it comes from a lack of understanding. But, you know, for most of us, as I said, in place of money being thrown at something, we throw ourselves, our time, our skills, you know, and just sheer will and dedication to it. And that's how we manifest things, you know. That's how I've got everything I've ever had. I've worked really hard at it. I'm lucky that I'm quite a physical person, and I can turn my hand to fixing most things. And things that I don't know how to fix, I can quite easily learn how to fix them. So rather than throwing money at a project, I throw myself at it. And as you've seen in the last video, sometimes it costs me. I mean, I was aching like you would not believe some of the days. But look at what I've got now, you know. Look at what I can take home to my wife. This beautiful boat, she's not past it, you know. Fiberglass never gets past it. As long as I've got the skills and the energy to maintain her, then she's always going to be floating. Somebody mentioned to me yesterday the only reason boats fail is through people's inability to maintain them, you know. And it's true. I mean, she's floating. She's a 1968 boat. She's sat on the hard for over 20 years, and look at her now. She's floating through some hard work. And don't get me wrong, there was definitely money put in. I don't get sponsored or anything like that. It's all done off of my own back. But aye, it's not always about getting money thrown. I think I'd go as far as to say for most of us, it's not about putting money in, because we don't have the money there to put in. We have the hard work, the dedication, and our time and effort, you know. And that's how this world was built, off the backs of people like us. So aye, also thank you, you know, thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate it. I'm obviously doing something that interests you enough that you keep on watching, so aye, thank you. And anyway, I'm going to crack on, and I'm going to take you through a few things that we're going to be doing this week. And do let me know about the length of videos. I mean, I can sit here and waffle for 30 minutes if you want. But I suspect you want to see more of what's happening on the boat, and in a time length that works for you. So aye, let me know and we'll crack on here. You know, it's a rainy day today, but even so, I'm sitting under this canopy here with a coffee, and I can't help but think how lucky I am. I mean, I'm not showing off or anything, but aye, words can't express how happy I am with this, and how excited I am for the future. I've actually planned another journey. In the summertime we're going to go over to Northern Ireland to see George from Sailing Storm Dancer. He's another good YouTube channel, and he's got a catamaran as well. He was actually really unfortunate in one of the storms. He got holed, but he handled it really well, and he's got it patched up, and she's looking good to go. So aye, we're going to sail over to Northern Ireland, and we're going to meet up. And I think he's going to come over to the Outer Hebrides and meet us as well. So that's another couple of adventures we've got planned for this year. I really can't wait. So aye, it's all looking good. Now, I've just taken my daily pilgrimage up to the internet just to upload some videos there, and I'm walking around with my coffee just looking at boats. Now, this boat it looks a good bit heavier than mine, and yet it's only got two 8 horsepower engines on it. Aye, they're high thrust ones, but that's still only 16 horse. It's surprising how little power it takes to move these boats. Now, it was mentioned to me about a previous video, my guesstimations on boat size. They are very, very rough. Don't take my word at what length they are. That's me just looking at it and thinking, oh, okay, that's round about that size. But this one's certainly bigger than mine. certainly broader and heavier. And aye, it's got two 8 horsepower high thrusts on it. And aye, it's it might be an idea, 2 smaller engines. But the thing that's got my interest just now, I'll just stick my coffee there. Aye, the thing that's got my interest is this bracket. I've actually got 2 of them sitting at home. 2 really good ones. I think one of them's rated up to about 40 horsepower. So, aye, that whole system that I've got for the outboard, I'll maybe just take that off once I get home and put one of these on, just as a temporary measure. I'm going to take you to another boat and show you those scoops can actually be made from plywood and fiberglass. So making one up is also another option. Aye, anyway, I'm just waffling on here. I'm actually going to another Iroquois that I was shown yesterday, and it's fully rigged, so I'm going to video it and be sneaky, because mine wasn't rigged when I got it. So I can video it and then look back on it and see how this one's done and how I need to do mine. Anyway, I'll come back in at that point. Now this one here is another one of these. It's got an actual proper name, but you know me by now. I find my own special little names for things. So this is a scoop. Aye, and this one's made out of plywood and fiberglass. And as you can see, it's just on rope pulleys. And the gentleman I was talking to yesterday, you know, I agree with his theory that if it's just rope, you can see the rope fraying and you can replace it easily enough. And one of these is actually relatively easy for me to make. And then you're just on 2 brackets on the front and it swivels up and down. And he was saying to me that the longer this scoop is, the less travel on that rope it has to have, which is really good, because one of the things I'm looking at doing is extending the back of my boat by maybe 5 feet. It gives me extra space, extra storage. It'll let me put a back on it, a back platform, and now I keep on calling it a gantry because it would be on a fishing boat, but they're called solar arches. So aye, it would let me put a solar arch on it and I'd be able to hang the dinghy off it as well. So it also keeps it straighter in the water, and apparently the longer they are, the faster they are. So there is that as well. But aye, this is the system that I was thinking about building. Obviously, this part's got the fiberglass in it, and this has just been replaced by the looks of it. But aye, I go round about these things, filming them, just so that when I get home I can remember them all. Aye, it's quite a basic thing, and I can build that relatively easy. And then when I extend the back of my boat, there'll be plenty of space for a big long scoop. Anyway, I'm going to go to this other Iroquois and video that. Now, this is the one I was talking about. Most recently it's been sat here for about 5 years as far as I'm aware. And this one's got the rudders that flip up. Those big stainless steel rudder boxes that I'm in love with, they do the same kind of thing. They'll make the rudders flip up. And the reason I like this one over what I've got is, see if you do run into shallow water and they start touching, my rudders will jam and rip off the back, whereas these ones will actually just trail and flip up and not get caught. So I really like that. I don't know what the benefit of my ones is over these. I don't have enough knowledge just now, to be honest. But I think I'll probably go with a design like this, because I will be taking it into beaches and drying it out overnight in between tides and things like that. So it'll be really handy being able to just, I mean, if you see this rope here, it's onto a pulley up there, and you can just pull that pulley, lift your rudders up out the road, and away you go. Actually, that's good as well. I was looking at a tiller steer. I was looking at a tiller steer system for my boat, and I was trying to picture how it would go. And there it is there. That's perfect. This boat has actually got a checkered history. It's been turned over twice from what I understand, and it's been impounded for people smuggling and all that sort of stuff. And so it's had a bit of a checkered history. But as I said, it's rigged, ready to go. Although you would have to redo everything. But it lets me see where all the ropes have got to go and things like that. Okay. See this pulley here coming back from the Genoa. I've not got that rigged up yet. So I was actually wondering how that came back. I think on my boat it's coming along the bottom here and then up, so that's another idea. And then these windows, the ones that I've got are notorious for leaking, but I think I'll keep them. As I said in one of the videos, they're metal frames and I can just take that out with glass in it and I can keep on resealing it. I mean, if I want tint on it, I can put perspex in it, but just keep those frames. And this is exactly the same size as mine, and it's just got a 9.9 on it. It's a high thrust, obviously. You see the size of the prop on it. But I mean, that cable's seen better days. It's just a 9.9 high thrust. So it gives me confidence that the engine I've got on it should be sufficient. Now, he's got a bow spirit on here. To get that back, I like that idea. And actually that bar going across looks like the spinnaker pole. I was actually wondering where to store mine. I've got mine down the side there, and it means I can only go up and down the one side. So it's really handy. And then he's got a winch on the mast there, whereas I've only got cleats. So that could be something good to put on. And then he's got this add-on here, this anchor roller, or bow roller for the anchor. So this is another idea that I was thinking of. Rather than having the anchor coming off one of the sides and then having a snubber in the centre to grab the rope, I just have it running straight down here. That's definitely a good idea. That's the good thing about being in a boatyard. Well, a lot of boats like yours, you can actually just walk around and get different ideas for things. Anyway, I'm going to stop procrastinating and I'm going to get on with some work, because this video is going to run long again already. So, I'll crack on. Now this light here is the kind of main room light for the salon, and although it's not too bad, I've put wee fasteners there for the LED lights, because I find that this one is really bright underneath it and it's kind of dark in other places at night. So although it's a decent LED light and I'm going to keep it, I'm not going to have it there. I'm going to have it in one of the back compartments. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the power source there, and I'm just going to run it out. You see that that gap up about there? I'm going to run it out along there, and I'm going to have the power to the LED strip, which I think should give us more light overall in the salon. So aye, that's the next job. I'm going to crack on and get that. I've got a switchboard put in, so aye, I can quite easily run cable over to the switchboard. I'll show you that in just a second. Now this here is just a wee basic switchboard. It's just one of those cheap ones off of Amazon, but it does the job. And it's got the bit for a cigarette lighter, and it's got 2 USBs for charging phones and things. One of the other good things that it does that I like a lot is it tells you, it's blinking in the camera just now, but it tells you the voltage on your batteries, which is quite handy. And then it gives you the ability to have different things on here. So I've got, this is the main on and off, as you can see, but you can also put something onto that. So aye, that's one to think about. But this one here, when I was putting in the bilge pumps, I said that it's got an automatic and it's got a manual. Well, the manual is on here. So if the automatic ever fails for some reason, I've got the manual on there and I can switch them on like that. And then I'm going to have the fish finder and maybe the VHF on there on a separate system from the old system. This is all brand new. I've wired this in myself. I've got it coming straight from the battery through a fused line onto here, so I know that that's good wiring. And I know that I can rely on this to get me home. And I also know exactly where all of the wires are running in case there is any issue. So aye, I can have some utility in here off of this. I think I might actually stick another one in next to it when I get home, so that I can put other systems on it, because the old system, although actually it fits quite nicely where it is, it's got a mile of cable that I don't know where it's come from and what it's done and all the rest of it. So, and some of the switches don't work, and so I'll have to retrace that all and rewire it. I'll show you it in just a second. Now this is the old one here, and you can actually see the white cables over in the background over there. So aye, they're kind of hanging all over the place, and I don't really want to trust them. What I've worked out is this is the main switch. As you can see, that currently puts the LED on, because down here, it's, as I said, it's quite good. It fits in well, and he's got the lights for port and starboard, and different bits and pieces. So I mean, if I can work out where everything goes to and things, I might actually keep that switch panel there. Aye, and that just switches the whole panel on and off, which is really good. I mean, it's done the job in the time, but aye, I will need some time to trace back all the wires, renew the wires at the very least. And I'm thinking, well, I do like the way it's set out, but would it be easier just to put another one of these switches on, the switch panels that I put on up there, and just take this off and just kind of blank it off, because it has got all different switches and things, and they are old, and I will have to retrace all the wires, and I mean, I'm going to have to rewire the entire boat anyway, but I'll have a think about it, because there is something I like about it being in there. But as I said, it is old stuff, and I'll have to redo all the wiring anyway, so would I be as well just getting some modern panels and things, because I'll be wanting battery monitors and things like that can give me trends and readings over the space of 24 hours in a week and things like that. So I think as we talk, I'm convincing myself just to make this obsolete and put new stuff in. We'll see how it goes, but I think I'm leaning towards new kit rather than redoing this old stuff. As I said, it's actually really good for what it done in its time, but I think definitely needs updating. The wires all need redone anyway. We'll see how it goes when I get home. I might wake up one day with a mad idea and make it look retro but put all new kit into it and things. Anyway, this is what I'm doing just now. So there's been a bit of a change of plan. I was thinking about leaving on Friday or Saturday after I'd uploaded the next video, but there's weather coming in on Saturday and it's gusting up to 35 knots, and then through next week it's gusting up to 45 knots. So I can either be here for another 9 days doing nothing, or I can move up the coast a bit and I'll get to Portland Harbour before the weather comes, and that'll give me a chance to get to talk to locals and get some local knowledge to help me get round Portlandville. So that's the plan. About an hour before high tide in the morning, I'm going to cast off and start this journey. I'd be lying if I says there wasn't any nerves. There's definitely nerves, but there's a lot of excitement as well. I've got a few things I've got to do tonight to get everything kind of lashed down, but about 0600 tomorrow I'll be heading away. So by the time you get this video, I'll actually have been on the water for 2 days. So exciting times. Now this here is what I was talking about when I says I've got a fish finder that's got charts and things on it. It's, I wouldn't say it's as good as a plotter, but it will help. So I mean, it's given me my latitude and longitude and things like that, so I'm not too bad at that. I'm going to have to get it set up, but this will help. There we go. That's me got the transducer set up there. So it's giving me readings, it's giving me the water temperature, it's giving me the depth, 2.6 metres, and when I'm moving it'll be giving me the speed over ground as well. I'll also be able to get that from my tablet and from the navionics on my phone. There you go. It's giving me my depth, my water temperature, and it'll give me my speed there. So I can use this like a plotter. As I said, it's not quite as good, but I think it's better than the one that was with the boat, so we'll go with this. Now I've got my VHF set up, and it's got a good strong aerial signal and things. I've got the fist palm in here just now, but I've got a clip out in the cockpit for it when I'm actually underway, so that it's easily accessible. I think I was going to take you through, you know, the install of the fish finder and things, and I'll definitely do that, because there's going to be about a week that I'm going to be sitting in the harbour, hopefully at Portland, so I'll be able to take you through things there at that point. But it has just occurred to me today, because I hadn't anything particular planned, I was feeling a bit lethargic and a bit meh. But now that I'm under a time constraint and it's go time, that's me perked up, my energy's right there and ready to go, and I'm even more alert now. So I mean, I really do thrive under pressure, unfortunately. I wish I thrived under relaxation or something like that. But anyway, I'm going to get this video set up ready to go, so that even if I don't get any signal, it'll be queued in YouTube and upload automatically for you on Friday. As I said, hopefully by then I'll be sitting in Portland Harbour getting advice from the locals on how not to get sucked out to sea and turned upside down by those huge waves. I'm really excited, and I'm a bit nervous. I've got a lot to do still. I mean, I've got this canopy here. I've got it over the top of the main boom just now, so that's going to have to come down so that I can get sailing. I run the engine today. She's running slightly high, but nothing that I'm not worried about, because as soon as she's under load she settles down. And I was going to go around that way, but we'll go around this way. I've got water to get on board, and I'm going to inflate the dinghy and just have it at the ready just in case. I'll get the oars and things. Obviously I'll get all the buoys and fenders stowed away, and we'll have a wee chat at some point once I get to Portland about this generator. It's a really interesting generator, shall we say. But the wind's behind me just now, so hopefully it stays like that, which means that once I get out and turn right, I mean, I can see boats sailing up and down just now, so hopefully when I get out, turn right, and it'll be plain sailing. I mean, the wind is only supposed to be about 5-6 knots tomorrow, so I'll be under engine a lot of the time. But it'll give me time just to slowly ease into it, and kind of shake things down a bit, and to give me a chance to adjust to this new boat and the way she moves and things. I'm expecting those rudders not to be anywhere near as responsive as the one on Spirit, so I'll take it really easy until I get used to her, as I said. Anyway, I'll leave you at that. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was slightly different to usual, but thank you very much for watching, and if you wouldn't mind, like, share and subscribe. It really helps me out. I mean, I'm growing much faster than I could have ever imagined, so again, thank you very much. I really appreciate that, and I'll talk to you on Friday.